Hi, my name is Peter Anene, a student of MMC Guidance School, Batch 2, Group 12, Cycle 2. I'm here to make a personal presentation on the business games, which my Cycle 2, has already presented before now. My mentor's name is Mentor Nick. This slide shows all the members of my group. We are about 10 of us with the corresponding emails. Then this is a country in which we are expected to carry out our task. The country's name is Eritrea, and this slide shows a quick review of the country. The next slide shows the country Eritrea, the flag, and then Eritrea map beside it. Task 1. The question is, you have received all the information needed in order to become managers or leaders in the MMC community. Now, you have an important task. Enter in a new country and develop MMC there. This new country will be the Eritrea. As a starting resource, you have internet, 18, knowledge received in the school, and $125,000. Within an hour, you have to develop a plan of actions for a week. You must specify the number of registrations and deposits you will achieve over this period. Note: $125,000 is given only once. Later on, you should use the free resources from the system. Give comprehensive details of the new country. Now, this is the plan of action. Then, expectation. First of all, in this task 1, it's necessary that we introduce MMMC to the Eritreans. We acquaint them with the ideology of MMC, how it works, the rules and benefits of participating in MMC, as well as the possible risk involved in participating in MMC. So, under how it works, we are also going to detail to them the process of registration, PHing, and GHing, that is providing help and getting help. Then the requirement of the task also says specify the number of registrations and deposits achieved within 1 week. Now, the resources we have is a team of 25 qualified guiders, internet, knowledge received from the school. $125,000 will translate to 1,875,000 NAFCA. NAFCA is the units of Eritrean currency, and the $1 is equivalent to 15 NAFCA. Then we are going to secure an accommodation, which may also serve as an office outlet for the team. As an expectation, we are going to build a website, eritrea-mmc.net, and also we are going to obtain the services of interpreters, since we have several languages in Eritrea. So these interpreters are going to handle the language interpretation. Next slide. Then we are going to create awareness via social media such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, WhatsApp, as well as some public media. We are going to prepare souvenirs such as t-shirts, face caps, wristbands, etc. Then we are going to organize and host at least 7 seminars in 1 week with a target of 400 participants for each seminar. First, this seminar is going to hold in the capital city called Asmara, and then in a few other major cities of the country. Then we are going to continue extending invites to new members on the team's members' social media accounts. Then we're also going to continue encouraging all members to familiarize with themselves with the MMC website. We'll continue to display videos and letters of happiness of members from other countries that have benefited a lot from MMC. Then this slide and a couple of slides to come after this one shows the plan and budget for 1 week. We have 4 columns which contain the item, unit cost, quantity, and total cost. So for this first slide, which I will use as an example, we have accommodation, transportation and logistics, buses, interpreter services, publicity/media adverts, t-shirt and face caps. So we see the corresponding costs in terms of the units, quantity, and also the total cost. Next slide, we also have some other items detailed as the slide it is following. Continue like that. Now when you look at the calculation, you see total we have 430,201 NAFCA. Now summary of action for this first 1 week. At the end of 1 week, financial resources at hand $125,000. So we have made an expenditure of $28,681. Now when you subtract this figure from the capital, you have $96,301. Now at the end of the 1 week, number of participants reached was 3,000, but out of these 3,000, we are only able to register 2,800 participants. So deposits achieved is $450 average value of the each participant's registration, as specified in the next question, multiplied by 2,800. So we achieved this amount of deposits, $1,260,000, which is equivalent to 18,900,000 Eritrean NAFCA. Task 2. A week has passed. You are forming. The average contribution of a participant to the structure is around $450. Under the regulations of MMC, you must provide at least 50% growth in terms of participant payments, starting with the first contributions. Your task is as follows. 1. Calculate how many new members and contributions you have in the next 3 weeks in order to be able to make the required payments to the other participants. 2. Write down your plan of action for the next 3 weeks. 3. Point out what resources you need and how you are going to use them. 4. Calculate the number of new participants and money raised during this period. 5. What extra costs will you have and how will you attract them? Plan of action. Our expectations. Now, one of the expectations is how many new members and contributions do we need in the next 3 weeks to pay the old participants. Plan of action for the next 3 weeks is as follows. Calculations. Then average donation is $450. Number of participants from the first week of registration is 2,800. Amount contributed is 2,800 times the average contribution. amount contributed is 2,800 times 4,000 times $450, which is the average contribution in the system, and this will give us $1,260,000. Now we also have to pay 50% interest on donation to these first set of participants, which is 50% of their capital. That is the money they donated to the system, or to the other participants rather. The money they donated to other participants, because it's a peer-to-peer platform. The 50% on interest on donation is 50 over 100 multiplying $1,260,000, which will give us $630,000. Next slide. Then, assuming that each participant from the first week registered at least a single participant, we also going to pay referral bonuses because of these registrations that they made. And the referral bonus is usually 10% of the participant's contribution, or rather the referral's contribution. 10% is usually referral bonus is usually 10% of the downline, 10% of the amount the downline contributed to the platform. So in this instance, since all the participants brought on board by the other participants also contributed the system's average of $450 per participant, so 10% will be 10% of this amount, $450 times 2,800 participants referred, and this will give us $126,000. So, but we know that in MMMC, half of referral bonus will go into verification macro. So, and half will now be paid to the participants. So, in 126,000 divided by 2 will be paid to the participant, which is $63,000. Now, total amount to be paid to donors from the first week is $1,260,000 plus $630,000 and $63,000, which totaled $1,953,000. So the additional contribution needed to pay members from first week is $630,000 plus $63,000, which is $693,000. So and then number of new registration needed to pay members from first week is $693,000 divided by 450, which is the expected system's average contribution per participant. And then with this calculation, you have 1,540 participants, that is new members. Now, if on the average, as seen from the first week, we are able to register 2,800 new members each week, this means that over the next 3 weeks, we would have registered 2,800 participants multiplied by 3, which is 8,400 new members. And if each of these new members donate an average of $450, the total expected donation at the end of 3 weeks would be $450 multiplying 8,400, which will now give us $3,780,000. Now, what do we do? How do we raise this number of participants to be able to generate this fund to pay off the first set of members? What to do? We organize more seminars within the capital city, Asmara, and in other major cities. We train new members who are willing and serious to be guided so that they can be motivated to get more people registered. We are going to increase media adverts. Now, these are the items and the corresponding costs that we'll be needing to execute this media awareness and publicity. Next slide. Then summary. At the end of 3 weeks, financial resources at hand after tax 1 was 96,319. Total expenditure in tax 2 was present tax was $2,469. Now balance is 96,319 minus $2,469, which will give us 93,850. So at the end of 3 weeks, number of participants reached is 8,400. Deposit achieved is $4,450, multiplying 8,000 multiplied by 8,400, which is 3,780,000. Tax 3. A month has passed. You are hundreds. Make a plan for another month on the basis of results of previous calculations, taking into account the dynamics of growth, the number of new participants, and contributions for the next 4 weeks. Plan of action. First, our expectations. Action plan for another 1 month, putting into account the dynamics of growth from the previous month. Calculations. Total participants from first month, 2,800 from the first week plus 8,400 from the next 3 weeks, which will give us a total of 11,200. That is for the first 1 month. Total contribution from the first month, which we have done before. Total contribution from the first month is 1,260,000 plus $3,780,000, which is equal to 5,040,000. So at the end of the first month, the participants were paid 1,260,000 plus 630,000 plus $63,000, which is equal to $1,953,000. So balance from deposits is equal to 5,040,000 minus 1,953,000, which is equal to 3,087,000. Next slide. So if we assume that participants from the first week will pay $450 average after 1 month because of the commitment policy. Therefore, 450 times 2,800 for first batch is equal to $1,260,000. And let's assume as well that the participant from the first month, that is 11,200 participants, all refer at least one person each. Then we have 450 times 11,200 participants, members from the first month, that is participant member from the first month, contributing $5,040,000. So total is $1,260,000 plus $5,040,000, which is $6,300,000. Now, over the next 4 weeks, first batch will get help with the amount $1,953,000. Second batch will get help with the same amount. Third batch will also get help with the same amount. Guidance bonus will be paid to members. Guidance bonus will be paid to members of first batch who are already guiders. 5% of $450 is $75, which is a guidance bonus. Then you have to multiply this figure by 2,800 for the first participants. So this will now give us $210,000. So, but we also know that half of this figure will go into verification marble and the other half paid from the PH in the system. Now we will now have $105,000 as the payout for guidance bonus. Now total payouts is $1,953,000 into 3 plus the guidance bonus $105,000, which will now give us $5,964,000. Next slide. So at the end of this month, we should be having total pH minus total GH as our balance. So, and this is $1,260,000 plus $5,040,000 minus $5,964,000, which will now give us $336,000 as balance. Next slide. Tax 4. After 2 months, you have the number of participants and deposits that you have calculated. Now you can calculate what you need to organize within the next month. A week after the start of the month, there is a local holiday in Eritrea, which is celebrated during a week respectively. In this period, the activity registration falls by 85%. 1. Make a plan of action for a month. 2. State the resources and how you should use them for the development of the system. 3. Calculate the right amount of contributions and number of registrations needed to keep the system operations running. Plan of actions. Face our expectations. We have to make up for 85% of MMC registration loss due to holiday. Actions to be taken. We have established that 2,800 new participants are added every week, and also that each participant introduces 1 new referral each. However, in these new months, registration dropped by 85%. That means that weekly registration dropped from 2,800 to 420. This is a massive drop. Hence, the total registration for the month falls to 1,680 instead of 11,200. Now we need to come up with a plan to make up for the remaining 9,520 members that were lost to the holidays. So for the remaining 3 weeks, we need to register 3,594 new members, because a week has already passed with the community only able to register 420. So for the next 3 weeks, we need 420 for the first week. Second week, 3,594. Third week, 3,494 participants. Fourth week, the same amount, which will now give us a total of 11,202 participants. Now, contributions expected is this number of participants, 11,202 participants, multiplied by 4,450, multiplied by $450, which will give us $5,040,900. To achieve this, we're going to train more participants to become guiders, organize additional seminars, increase media awareness and publicity, cover more cities and towns. Projected expenses are as follows, and then the balance after the expenses is $86,250. Next slide. Now we are in tax 5. Tax 5 says your plan didn't work out. You do not have enough new registrations and new deposits to cover the cost of the current deposits. Due to lack of funds, there are delays in payments. The old participants, seeing that, neither make their own contributions nor attract new members. It is necessary to analyze the plan of actions in this situation. 1. What are the resources needed? What are the resources needed? 2. How many participants and contribution is needed to get this situation resolved? Next slide. Plan of action. Then first of all, our expectations. We have to analyze plan of actions. What resources do we need? How many participants and contributions do we have to achieve? In the previous months, we planned to increase new members to 3,594 weekly to make up. However, this did not work, and let's assume we are able to register only 2,000 new members each of these 3 weeks. We are only able to register 2,000 new members each of these 3 weeks, making a total of 6,000 new members. Now, this is very low, since contributions will be $450 multiplied by 6,700 participants, which is $3,015,000, which is lower than what we are expected to pay participants monthly. In order to meet up, we need 4,900 additional new members. So our action plans will be to increase the training of guiders, cover more cities, towns and villages, create more adverts and awareness campaigns, organize workshops for participants to discuss widespread panic and misinformation, organize additional seminars. Next slide. Cost implications is as detailed in this slide. So at the end of the day, we are going to have a balance of $77,400. Next slide. Taxes. During this month, delay in payment increased to 7 days. Referral activity almost reduced to 0. The old members do not attract anyone and do not make contributions too. In virtue of this situation, a pause mode is implemented in which all the old modules are frozen and will be available for withdrawal when the situation will right itself. New deposits grow as per old conditions. Make your plan of actions for another month. Plan of action. Our expectations: make new action plans that will revive the situation, increase the number of new members recruited. So the action plans will be to educate members on what pause mode is and the reason for the pause mode and how it can be overturned. So we're going to increase campaigns and awareness to areas where MMMC has low turnouts or has not been reached. Rebuild the trust by showing the complete transparency of MMMC and past experiences. So we are going to stop the growth of Mavro, reduce bonus percentage from 50 to 30% only. We are going to encourage the use of Bitcoin. We're going to introduce higher bonuses for testimonial videos. Then we're also going to train more guiders to incentivize them to attract more participants. So action for week 1 would be hold workshop for members to educate them of pause mode and what it entails. Sorry. Then assure members of the safety of their funds, but that there would be delay in getting help, which could take a little above 2 months. Next slide. So we're going to continue media awareness. We are going to continue educating participants. For week 2, we organize more seminars in areas already covered towards increasing participants. Make new flyers, billboards, and other publicity materials. For week 3, we organize seminars in new locations within Eritrea. We're going to encourage participants to participate in the guided school. Continue with seminars within areas already covered and areas newly covered. Next slide. Action for week 4, we create more media awareness, share more testimonial videos. Fund available from the previous expenses was 77,400. So multiplying our recent expenses, subtracting our recent expenses, which is totaled $15,000, we are going to have $62,400 as our new balance. Just like then the final tax, which is tax 7, says your efforts have been insufficient to reverse the situation. A restart took place. All the old marvels are removed. We start to work from the beginning. Serious negative impacts of the members and unfavorable responses, 1 or 2 negative articles in the mass media, and you have to make a fresh start in such conditions. Make a plan of actions and make a plan of action under specified conditions for a month. The plan of action. Then our expectation. So restart and we are going to restart and reintroduce MMC. So actions to be taken to actualize this. So we recruitment will be done globally with the use of Bitcoin alongside the local currency, local Eritrean currency. We're going to increase marketing and awareness more aggressively this time, covering all the cities in Eritrea. We're going to use the media to explain the situation to the people and the need for restarts. So this will cost us $4,000. So there are also some items such as transportation and logistics, which we spend about $4,000. Then we are going to provide incentive for old members who return, emphasize the essence of being a help provider to the community via increased seminars. So consult leaders of countries that have witnessed restarts in the past and we are going to learn from them. So we are going to restore the growth of Marvel to 50% per month, because remember at a point you have to reduce it to 30% per month. So this time around we are going to restore it to 50% per month. So we are going to distribute more souvenirs, charity works. Then all these things we are incurring expenses. So remember our previous balance was 62,400. So, and our new expenditure was 33,000. So this will leave us with a new balance of 9,400. This balance of $29,400 will be kept for any unforeseen circumstances in the future. I believe that we have diligently attended to the task. This is an on-paper solution to the problems posed in the task. So we believe that in the field where we face the practical reality of how these things go, we are going to be dynamic in our approach, where we respond to issues as they emerge on the field. So on this note, I am saying that with unflinching commitments and dynamic efforts, we shall finally have strong and lasting MMC in Eritrea, and together we shall indeed change the world. Thank you.